You are building an MVVM app. You need a model or a view model. How many lines of code do you spend just writing boilerplate? Private fields, repeating the type names, assigning them in the constructor, it's a productivity killer. Modern C Sharp isn't about complex new features, it's about eliminating the ceremony. C Sharp 12 and its predecessors have given us features that allow you to express complex intent in a single line. Today, we are cutting your code in half with 5 killer features. I'm VectoArt, and this is your guide to C Sharp features that make you a 10x developer. Our MVVM models and view models often look like this. Three repetitive parts just to inject dependencies or initialize data. This is the boilerplate tax. Starting in C Sharp 12, we can now use primary constructors on non-record classes. This feature is massive for dependency injection and view model construction. It removes a full level of nesting and simplifies your object's initialization dramatically, making our code instantly more readable and maintainable. To try this out, for initially, ensure your C Sharp project is targeting .NET 8 or newer, which enables C Sharp 12 by default, which is a crucial step. Next is to place the cursor on the constructor, and this will help us trigger the refactoring. So here you can see we'll have this light bulb icon pop up, or you can also press control period to open the quick actions and refactoring menu. So I will click on this, and here you can choose the option use primary constructor and remove fields. So as soon as I click on this, Visual Studio instantly removes the refactoring. It executes the refactoring and it moves the constructor parameters logger and string connections connection strings to the class declaration, and it deletes the private fields underscore logger and underscore connection. It deletes the entire construction body, which is the repetitive assignments, and the final result is a sleek code demonstrating the massive reduction in boilerplate code. Next, we are talking about collection expression. Before C Sharp 12, initializing collection was verbose. Now we have collection expressions. You can simply use square brackets just like in JavaScript or Python. It significantly reduces code bloat. To try this out, let's make changes to our code. So the real magic is the spread operator. It lets you embed one collection directly into another. This is amazing for creating derived collections or initializing complex data sets without looping or using add ranges. So first thing that we are going to change is the initialization list creation, which was repetitive, but we are going to make it concise and simplify it by adding this new uh, way of creating this list. So here I can say list of string and the name is same, and here you can see which is much more concise than the one that we used before. Next, combining and adding elements in a single expression using the spread operator. Here it required combining collections which required separate methods like add range and add. Now all we have to do is use the spread operator. So I will show you how that can be done, and that is as simple as this. So crucial focus is the team a syntax over here, where we don't need to separate we need don't need a separate loop or an add range call to concatenate sequences, making your collection initialization code a single readable expression like we have over here. The visual comparison clearly shows the reduction in boilerplate, and increases the readability of or defining and merging collections.
Right. Object creation is clean. Collection.
The next feature that we are going to talk about is switch expressions and pattern matching. Before pattern matching, range checks required a lengthy and brittle if else if structure, which can be hard to read and easy to introduce bugs into. This code, which we are going to use, will use the switch expressions from C Sharp 8 plus and relations pattern from C Sharp 9 plus to make the logic concise, readable, and functional. So I have the code ready, and here you can see we have our old function which is called get water state classic, and now I will paste in the code for the new method which is called get water state modern. And the first thing that you will notice is we have gotten rid of the if else return states and the case keywords, which is the key visual difference between the two. The next is the functional syntax. The method is reducing the single expression that returns a value, and the clean range checks the complicated temperature Fahrenheit variable. Um, If you look at the functional syntax between the two, the method is reduced to a single expression that returns a value. The complicated temperature Fahrenheit checks over here is replaced by a concise expression that makes the code read almost like natural language. And here you can see we have the relational pattern from C Sharp 9, which checks the value if it is less than 32, which is done by this if statement over here. And then you can see we have a range check, which is a relational pattern, and has this evaluation of top down approach, and it basically means that the value is greater than or equal to 32 and less than or equal to 212, which is exactly what it does over here. And then you have the simple relational pattern that remains the case for greater than 212, and the finally the unknown state, which is the discard state pattern over here. And that is how simple it is to use this switch patterns and pattern matching. The next feature that we are going to talk about is records with expressions. In MVVM, our models are often just data containers. We want them to be immutable, meaning unchanged for thread safety, and we want simple value equality. The Here I have on the screen a class called product. It has some properties which I'm going to set you in this main. And let me run this application and I will show you what I mean. So what I am going to do is creating this old product variable of type product, and setting the values id, name, and price. Next, um, I am going to update the old product's price to 12.5, and now the old product has a value 1 widget and 12.5 in the properties. Now I'm going to create a new proper variable called updated product, which is of type product, and I'm going to assign the values of old products id, name, and price will be a new value. So here you can see I am assigning the old products id to this updated product, old product's name to the name, and the price is a new value. And then I am going to check if old product is equal to updated product, which will tell us the value equality. Right now it will be false because the price is different, and of course here you will get a value of false. Now what I am going to do is I am going to update the value of the price over here to say 10.5. Now it should be exactly the same. So let me run the application again. And here you can see that it's still false. But now let's go to the records and with expressions in C Sharp 12, and you will soon see what I mean. So let me stop this application and do a couple of modifications. The first things first that I'm going to do is replace this class with a record keyword. And this is a concise immutable position record declaration. So I will just simply replace this with this record property. And next, I am going to create the initial immutable object. Here we had this within our main, and of course this is also going to be within our main, but it is much simpler in when we create this product, because now it knows that the first value is id, second value is widget, and the third value is the price. Now let me remove this, it is not applicable for this, and I am not going to change the value of the old price. I will leave it as is. And all of this creating a safe copy, which requires manual assignment, I will simply replace it by using this declaration over here. And here you can see that it is so simple. It is just saying that this updated product is equal to the old product with only the price as a new value. Of course, now when I run this, both old product and updated product will be false because the values are different. But if I copy this and paste it over here and now run the application, you can see both are equal. So this helps us in thread safety, and we have this simple equality of the data. Feature that we are going to talk about is file scoped namespaces. This feature from C Sharp 10 is simple but a huge quality of life improvement. In most files, the namespaces wraps your code, adding unnecessary indentation and pushing your logic to the right. By using file scope namespaces with a semicolon at the end of the line, we remove a full level of indentation from the entire file. This makes your code more compact and easier to read, especially in deep hierarchies. In this example, this is a small class and a small enclosed namespace. But if you and you have a huge piece of code where everything is enclosed within curly braces, it is difficult to manage this. So all you have to do is you can hover over the namespace, and here you have the light bulb which you can click on, and then you can simply say convert to file scope namespace, and doing so it ends it with a semicolon, and there is one less semicolon, one less curly brace to close, open and close. The choice to adopt a clean architecture is step one. Step two is using the modern C Sharp language to make that architecture lightweight and a joy to maintain. Stop writing C Sharp like it's 2012. Which one of the features is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Next week, we'll get practical and look at the best modern MVVM libraries to pair with your C Sharp 12 clean code. The script is ready to go. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video. For those who haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. It motivates me to create more such videos. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.